guys, welcome to Surf and Show. I'm Noel Salas, and today we have special guests from Naked Viking Surf from Carlsbad, California. Thanks for joining us, guys. Could you please introduce yourselves?
My name is Leif.
I'm Jamin.
Jamin,
Yeah.
okay.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, I'm stoked you guys are here. You guys sent me some C-Drive fins,
Yeah.
which has this weird fin template here,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, you could hold one up, that'd be great. So I was going to try and tackle this by myself. You guys sent the fins, I'm thinking, oh no, what am I going to do here? So I have surfed them. So there will be footage for everybody. I do have a little bit of an opinion on the very little that I've surfed them, but that's kind of my introduction to you guys. And I figured our community is always wondering what fins I'm testing. So this is more like an introduction to Naked Viking Surf. We want to talk about C-Drive and what you guys are all about and why does the surfing world need another fin company?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about Naked Viking Surf and what your guys' roles are there.
So the original concept started in 2009, and it was kind of a pet project. We got a little bit more serious about it around 2011, 12. We really just wanted to focus on making a more affordable fin that performs better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should tell them the story about the fin that you got on the board that you bought.
Yeah, so I was in a shop and I picked up a board. Looked fun. They threw in some fins. It was 2 plastic fins and a fiberglass fin that was chipped on the back. It was kind of half-ass glassed.
Right.
And I realized this is what people are doing because fins are too expensive.
Sure.
And I thought I could do something better.
Yeah. And we had spent a fair bit of time talking about the fluid dynamics involved in the foiling that we saw in fins, and we saw that the industry standard was not up to what we thought it could and should be.
Sure.
And we talked about that for a while, and over the course of a couple of years kind of figured out what improvements we would want to make and how feasible that would be.
Sure.
And realized we could do it. We could apply this to fins and not only make higher quality, what we consider to be better performing fins, but also do it in a way that wouldn't necessarily break the bank for surfers. Because surfers, in general, often don't have a lot of money.
Sure.
You know. So,
yeah, and then if we do have money, we spend more money on surfboards than we do on fins, just saying.
Yeah, true.
I think across the board, if we're looking for a sensation underfoot, we think it's the board. Instead of trying to fine-tune the board with the right fin, we'll ditch the board, even though that's a way more expensive out-of-pocket cost. If a board costs $700 and you're looking for a feeling or a sensation, and it's not giving it to you, but in my opinion, they go together. It's like a car with tires.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That's a good analogy.
It's like you kind of have to have the right fins and the right board. And I've been testing the Apex series, which is, correct me if I'm wrong, fiberglass fins with epoxy resin. I've been riding the Peregrines, which is a more pivotal set. This is the Swordfish by Lost, Chloe and Dino's new board. It's going great in my process of testing boards, and I really like this particular fin in there, along with other fins that I've been testing. But it seems like this pivotal upright set goes good in this particular board for me right now.
Makes sense.
And you know, with it being fiberglass and the consistency and the predictability is there, the fin feels solid. Maybe we can just dive right into the C-Drive fin. Would you guys be okay with that?
Sure.
So you have the C-Drive. If you could just hold it up so everybody can see. I think the thing's super interesting. So tell us, what's the concept behind C-Drive?
Well, the wide base obviously is for providing drive.
Right.
And it's actually, why don't you talk about, because you had a conversation with Troy a while back where he kind of outlined his ideas behind it. I feel like
every fin template out there, it seems like the design principle behind it is for kind of the ideal balance of drive and release.
Yeah.
But there are trade-offs with that. So what Troy did was he kept basically the base of a keel fin, but then added the large cutout to it, so you get the release of a thruster.
Okay.
So it really is a phenomenal combination of drive and release.
Okay, so let's say I always ride a large fin. I'm 160 pounds.
Right.
And what I'm looking for is a large base to push off of.
Right.
It's more like, I like to think of it as if I'm riding a surfboard with longer rail line, it offers like better traction and something for me to push off of, and it gains speed. Right? That would be equivalent, in my opinion, to what a fin with a wide base has.
Agreed.
Would you guys agree with that?
Yes.
Okay, so now if we took the back end of this fin and we carried it all the way through without this cutout, this fin would probably have way more hold.
So it would almost probably be hold like tracky and sticky even.
Right.
And just so the viewers know, that's actually a twin, which is why it's so massive.
Okay.
That's
Right. Okay. So, but when we cut this piece out,
right,
it's making it looser.
yeah, it gives release.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So when I think of release, I'm thinking right when at the peak of a turn, it's going to let go for a second, kind of like release at a turn, and then it starts to grab.
To re-engage.
You never really lose control, but you kind of feel like it lets go for a quick second, and it has a great sensation, and then you get right back on rail again.
I mean, it's sort of an extreme example of, there are a lot of fins that find that balance of,
Right.
you know, a wider base for the drive.
Right.
And then a refined tip, which allows you to release the fins kind of when you want them to.
Right.
And this is just sort of an extreme end of that spectrum where you have the base basically like a larger keel or a keel.
Right.
But then enough of a cutout and a refined tip that you aren't going to get that trackiness. So you can ride it in like a small thruster or quad and get the drive.
Right.
But then not feel tracky or sticky. You know, because I mean, I'm actually curious to hear how they felt for you in the pocket.
Sure.
Like in really tight, like going vertical or off the top. Like,
well, let's talk about that a little bit. So, I've got the large sea drive fins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think you guys recommended mediums.
For you, probably.
For me.
And it's funny because Maurice, for most guys, even over 160, he still says smalls. But that's his feel.
Right.
It's an unusual feel.
Right.
But yeah.
So I started the sea drive testing in the neckbeard too.
Nice.
Now it has that big wide tail.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a lot of it's not a super rockered out board, but the board carries a ton of speed.
Yeah.
And with this particular board, the sea drive fins coming off the bottom and in the pocket, I felt like it had good release.
Nice.
It felt good.
Nice.
And it felt like the board was carrying speed. I can't say that it carried, it felt more like it was carrying more speed than with a typical set of fins.
Right.
But I liked the resistance it was offering when I was pushing off.
Nice. That's good.
And if I can get resistance, that means that I'll push harder.
Yeah. Right. Pick up more speed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Now, the same sea drive fins in the white NOIZ
Right.
at 5.9 had no release.
Yep.
So that board's 5.9. This board is 5.5. This has a wide tail. That has more of a pulled in tail, and that's more of a like a daily driver high performance shortboard with continuous rocker.
Right.
And I felt like I couldn't get them to release. Now that could be because I'm riding the largest when I should be riding a medium.
And honestly, what I'd love for you to try on that board is the medium sides and a small center.
And a small center. Now you have a small center that has the same sea drive template.
You make the whole thing in quads, thrusters, and small, medium, and large.
Okay.
Here's the stabilizer for the twins.
Okay.
So you can see that's the smallest of all the sea drives.
So this could go in your typical twin fin,
Yep.
and this is your trailer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So for our community, this is really important since I'm not sure how many shops you guys are in nationwide or even worldwide. Do you guys offer worldwide shipping?
We do.
And is it a reasonable rate?
Yeah, for the most part, I mean, anything under about 4 pounds. It's for one set of fins, it can be expensive, but if they're splitting it over 2 or 3, 4 sets, it's $42 worldwide for 4 pounds or less.
What we have a lot of people do in Australia and New Zealand is they'll reach out to us, we'll let them know what the shipping is, and they'll get together with 3 or 4 of their friends, in a couple weeks.
Piggyback.
Yep. And
Okay.
it works out well.
Sounds good. Well, guys, NVS been testing these fins a bunch of board reviews coming up, like the Swordfish and others, where I'm putting the NVS products through the paces. We're stoked to have you guys here, be a part of the show, introduce your product to us, and thank you very much for supporting the show by sending products in for us to test.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
been great to be here.
Well, guys, if you like the show, subscribe, hit the like button, and until next time, we'll see you in the water. Bye-bye.